Hello, I'm Jake Landfair, real estate broker around Wentzville, and we're going to talk about different price points on what you can afford in Wentzville in 2025. It'll be a pretty quick video, so we're just going to go through 3, 4, 5, and 600 plus. Some examples. Some of these are actively listed right now. Some are actually sold already, but it'll give you an idea of what's here. So let's start with the lowest ones. So you got some brand new townhomes being built. You can see they're under 300. You could get a two-story home. This is actively listed right now. They're getting a little older. Everything in Wentzville's new, under 20 years usually, with a few exceptions. But this would be one of the older ones of Wentzville, being 18 years. You could get a new construction house. This one was $295, sold. Just some examples. We're going to go by pretty quick. I'll slow down when we get into mid price points. There's another example of a 23-year-old home for $303. Now you can also get almost an acre here. You're going to have an older home. This is one of the homes that existed before all of the rapid growth. So if you want some land and you're not too concerned about the size of the house, you could even for $300,000 afford something. So you can see this is the intro price point for a new house. They're very nice homes for high twos, $300,000, and there's some less than that too that you could buy. So let's go to this next price point. We're going to our $400,000 price point. And these are active. You're starting to get a bigger house. And there's going to be, you can get a new construction that's smaller. You can get a larger, older home. So this is just a two-story, 2,600 square feet, 420 listed. This one's listed for under 400. It's only 2 years old. And it's a little smaller than that other one, but it's brand new, 2 years old. So these are just kind of like your track-built subdivision homes. And here's one that's older. This is a rare one. I wanted to mix some of these in so you could see. You could get a larger lot, but an older house. Now, this house is remodeled, so if you want some land, but you still want to be close to everything, this is a good choice. And it is remodeled, so that's nice. Okay, yep, it's got a modern tub there. So pretty nice home. That's for around 420. And I'm just giving you examples. I'm going to go quick through some of these. This is a subdivision home. And this ranch is 17 years old. It has a walkout. It has some finish in the basement. I hope I'm not going too fast through these, but maybe this is your price point or isn't, and you want to see what's coming. This is a brand new house, and you can still get a brand new house in Wentzville. You might have to go a little on the outskirts of Wentzville, to the northern parts of Wentzville mostly. But yeah, a brand new house, 3-car garage for $393, $1,700. There's a 1,800 square foot two-story that sold for $395. This is 2025. We're in May right now, 2025. So things tend to keep going up. So if you're looking at this a year later or months later, it might be you might want to add 5, 10, 20 grand to these types of homes. So these are all around the 400,000 range. That's a 2-year-old house too. Here's a 4-year-old house for 400. But there's a couple I want to show you that I think are fun. Wentzville includes Lake St. Louis, so let's go to one of those. This one sold for $450, but you get lake rights. So you're in the Wentzville School District. That's why it's still part of Wentzville. There are older homes in Lake St. Louis usually, but look at that's cool, right? I really like that view of the, it's not waterfront, but it's a view of the water seasonally, and it's got a lot of woods. You have access to Lake St. Louis, the lake. You can get a boat. You can go out on that lake. They have 2 lakes. They're both Lake St. Louis. One has an E at the end of it. Then you can use their pickleball courts, their volleyball courts. You can go swimming there. They have a bunch of amenities, and these are only available to people who own homes in the Lake St. Louis original subdivision. You can't just buy a membership and use that lake. So there it's showing you can use the docks. This isn't part of that house, but so yeah, you could even get a cool house in Lake St. Louis for a reasonable price. Now let's go on up to almost 500,000. You're getting bigger homes, newer homes. Maybe some of the school districts tend to have a little different price point. And there's 4 high schools in Wentzville. It's just a ranch, 3-car. So this is a newer house, a ranch. I hope this is giving you guys a good idea of what kind of home you can afford at your price point. This is a nice modern kitchen. And things that are going to change the price are the school district. There's a little bit of difference there. Even though they're all Wentzville, it's the high school. And you also have different land sizes and ages, obviously, are going to change the price point quite a bit, even though they're still in Wentzville. So you can see this is a newer, brand new home, 2-story. Looks like. Yeah, so it's a brand new inventory home, $470. And you're getting mostly new in the 500 or a pretty high-end older home. So these are new construction. So it's getting pretty nice. And a lot of parts of St. Louis County, to get a new house like this, you might pay double. And honestly, that's true if you go into somewhere like Chesterfield. And if you go into somewhere like Ladue, you could pay maybe even 3 times as much. So this is a good deal for what you're getting. $500,000 new construction homes, 2 stories, 3-car garages. Let me show you. We're going up the price point now. So once you get over 6, you can start getting homes on 3 acres. So a lot of land, in-ground pools, things like that. This one's actually in Wentzville, but it's in the Francis House School District. So that's, I just threw it in there because it had a pool, and it's commutable time. If you look at this map, it's right here. So you're going to be going to Wentzville for your shopping and things like that. My sister actually lives in that neighborhood down the street. Or you're getting a nicer, higher quality, large, custom built home. Again, you can go with the new construction. There's plenty of new construction. There's more new construction in Wentzville than there is anywhere else in the metro. There's more neighborhoods in Wentzville that are being built than anywhere in the state of Missouri. You have some small communities with a few big subdivisions. Wentzville has dozens and dozens of new ones, and they're always opening new ones. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. So once you move to Wentzville, sometimes you're like, I want to move out even further. Wentzville wasn't that far. And in Wentzville, you're getting a lot of people move from St. Louis, and they're just want a new house. They want an affordability. And then once they get there, they're like, it's really not that far to my work or my friends or my family. It's only 15 minutes to Chesterfield or something. Or maybe some of your family all move out to Wentzville with you, and that happens all the time. And then you're like, but I want to get away a little further. And then you look in the 600 in Augusta, which is really beautiful, and just look at this home and that view. This is called the Missouri Rhineland, and it's still in St. Charles County. And if you had lived here in Augusta, you would still be frequenting Wentzville for shopping and stuff. So it's like a suburban outskirt of Wentzville, but it isn't in the Wentzville School District. I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse of once you get out to Wentzville, a lot of people even make the trek further. And that's like a timber frame custom home for under $700,000 with 7.5 acres. So and another thing, once you get over 600,000 in Lake St. Louis, and again, I include Lake St. Louis as part of Wentzville because it's in the Wentzville school districts, you can get lakefront homes. Now this might be a little dated home, but it's large and it's on the lake. So you start to get a lot more options open to you when you get over the 600 price range. You can see this is 617. It's got an in-ground gunite pool, very nice. So if you tried to buy something like that somewhere else in St. Louis, it could be double. So once you get over 600, you can get an in-ground pool, a large house. This has 3.5 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, finished basement, for 617. Or if, like I said, if you want to go up, Wentzville has higher end stuff too. Once you get over 600, you start to see those 3-acre estate homes. These are going to be very nice custom built homes. And again, you're going to pay double for this in a lot of areas, but this is getting on the upward ends of Wentzville. This one's 1.2, but it's completely custom and it's got a large lot. You can see this one's in that neighborhood. So this would be your neighbor. I hope that helps. If you're buying or selling in Wentzville, please give me a call. Even if you're doing new construction, I had a client that I sold their home and then they didn't use me for the new construction. They thought they would get a better deal, and the builder actually jacked up the prices to everyone that did not have agent representation, and they ended up paying $40,000 more for a house that was under contract. The builders can do that, and they do that if you don't have representation. They did not raise the price to any represented by agents. So there are examples where an agent can be useful even on a new construction. And again, give me a call if you have any questions. Thanks a lot. Bye.